Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Now, today we are going to be reviewing this long-range fat tire e-bike. It's from Magicycle. It's called the Ocelot Pro. And yeah, once again, we're going to go into the specs. So let's get into it. There is something about a white bike that I like. Now, this one has some blue and gray accents on it, which are really nice. And this paint job, it's like a matte white, which I think is really cool. Now, one thing to note that when you order the Ocelot Pro, it's going to come to you as a Class 2 e-bike, which means you'll be able to go up to 20 miles an hour. But you can unlock it and take it up to Class 3 speeds, which should take us up to 28 miles an hour. Now, we're going to do that by using this half-twist throttle, this cadence sensor down here, or your 7 levels of pedal assist. That's right, I said 7, but a crazy thing is you can adjust this to maybe 3, 5, 7, or even 9 levels of pedal assist to ensure you get the kind of ride that you want out of this bike. They also just released a 2.0 version of this bike that has a torque sensor and a cadence sensor, so you can switch it between torque and cadence sensor. Either way, I'm going to leave a link to both of them down in the descriptions below. This bike weighs 73 pounds and has a payload capacity of 450 pounds. This bike retails for $16.99 and has a 2-year warranty. It only comes in a step-through model, and it says that the ideal rider height is between 4'10" to 6'2". It also comes in 3 colors: Army Green, Space Gray, and this pearl white version that I have here. Now, Magicycle says that the Ocelot Pro will go up between 45 to 100 miles on a single battery charge, and that is obviously going to be dependent on how many pedal assist levels you have, how slow you're riding it, the rider bike weight, your terrain, weather, all of that kind of good stuff. Today, we're going to be putting this bike through its worst case scenario just to see how far we can get it to go. This bike uses a 52-volt, 750 brushless rear hub motor. It has a peak power of 1,500 watts and 100 Newton meters of torque. It has a Shimano 7-speed drivetrain with an Altus derailleur, a derailleur guard, and the standard 7-speed Shimano thumb shifter. For stopping power, you have the Tektro 2-piston hydraulic brake system with 180 millimeter rotors. The front forks are hydraulic. They have 80 millimeters of travel. You cannot preload them, but you can lock them out. It's rocking Kendra Crusade 20 by 4-inch tires. It has an aggressive mountain bike tread pattern on them, and they are puncture resistant. This battery is a 52-volt, 20 amp hours with 1,040 watt hours of power. It's a big battery that goes into this bike. It also comes with a 3 amp charger, and with that, you can charge it up within 6.5 to 7 hours. And you can do it while it's hooked into the bike by using this charging port right here. Or you can remove the battery and charge it in a different location. To remove the battery, it is going to come with 2 keys. You're going to take one of the keys here, you're going to pop it in there. It's going to bring the battery out a little bit. There is a lever. We're just going to twist it a little bit and pull the battery out. You will see that it has a battery indicator right here on it. And it can just go right back in. Once you hear it click, you know you're good to go. This entire bike is UL 2849 certified. When it comes to IPX ratings, the battery and motor is rated IPX6 and the controller is rated IPX8. Additional features include plastic fenders, aluminum pedals, a quick release seat post, a padded seat, a rear rack that can hold up to 55 pounds with a cargo strap included. Now let's go ahead and talk size and fit. So we're going to set this up for our shortest rider. There are no numbers on the back of the seat. So we're just going to go ahead and drop it down to its lowest configuration. There you go. That's for your 4'11" rider. Now, this doesn't have an adjustable stem, but these handlebars can come back and forth. They have a very nice arch with them, so I can see where that's going to be beneficial for a shorter rider. Now, we're just going to go ahead and move it up here to its highest spot. Oh, that's too high. There's no mark on here, so we're just going to guess probably about there. You still want some seat post in the stem to make sure that it's going to work. That's going to be your highest rider configuration. And there you go. Now for me, I am 5'9". I have a 32-inch inseam, and this should be about a good position for me. Cockpit Operations. On your left-hand side, you have a really good feeling grip. It's pretty strong when it comes to the feeling of it, and it has this nice palm rest. Right here is your front brake lever. Here is a bell, and right here is your control panel. To turn this bike on, there is a power button right here, and we're just going to press that until the screen comes on. This display has a very professional look about it. Right up here at the top, you have your battery indicator. Not only does it give you the level, but it also has a percentage, so that's a good thing. Right here is the time, and then you have a compass. Right here you have your miles per hour, your trip indicator, and your pedal assist levels. This plus button right here will increase your pedal assist levels. As you can see, it is currently set up for 7. By hitting this middle button, it's going to bounce between trip, odometer, max speed, average speed, time on the bike, and then it goes back to your trip. The minus button will take you down in pedal assist levels. Once in pedal assist 0, by holding down the minus button, it will turn on the walk feature. Let's jump into the advanced settings of this bike. You're going to hit the plus and minus. It has a very nice setup for the admin. Right here is your wheel size. We can change the speed limit. Let's go in there and take a look. Right now, I currently have it set for 25. I did that earlier. Let's hit that button again. Then we're going to bounce down to brightness. Voltage, right now we have it at 52 volts is what it should be. This is advanced, and when you pop into here, well, that's when you get to see all kinds of things. This is where you can change it between your different pedal assist levels. You have the 0 to 7, 1 to 7, 0 to 9, 1 to 9, 0 to 3, 1 to 3, 0 to 5, 1 to 5, and then back to 0 to 7. From here, you can also control how much power from the motor is going to each level. So this bike is 100% customizable for sure. Here we can also set how long it takes before the bike falls asleep, and then we jump down to unit, and it's already showing miles per hour, but this is where you can pop in there and change it. Here is where you can set up a password for the bike, and that is a great thing for when it comes to security. We won't be setting that up today. This is where you reboot it back to factory settings. This does some work on the display if you click in there. This is the trip reset, and right here we're just going to go ahead and reset the trip for today's ride. Then right there, you're gonna hit exit, and that takes you back to your main screen. To turn the headlight on, we're just gonna hold down this plus button. As you can see, the screen dimmed and your headlight is turned on. To turn the headlight off, you're just gonna hold the plus button again until it shuts off. Your headlight is a little bit bigger than average size, and it has this cool halo that goes around it. It also has an integrated rear tail light. You can see that it's lit up. It's not that bright, but it does get brighter when you hit the brakes. When the headlight is off, the brake function still works. On your right-hand side, you have your half twist throttle right here. This is your rear brake lever. And then right here is your gear shifter. To take it down in gear, you're just gonna use your thumb and click it. And to bring it up in gear, you're just gonna use your thumb down here as well. That is enough talk about specs, man. I just want to get this thing out. I want to hit some hills with it. I'm going to see how it rides in the sand. I mean, 100 Newton meters of torque, I know this thing is going to be a beast. Plus 20 amps of power in this big battery. We're going to be on this thing for a while. So let's get on the road and let's get out of here. All right, guys, we are out here on the 606 trail here in Chicago. What a beautiful day it's going to be. It is like 74 degrees right now. It's supposed to get up to 82. And right now we are riding in 0 pedal assist level, which means we are not getting any assistance to the bike. That's not helping us pedal at all. Right now I have it into gear 5 and we are cruising at 11 miles an hour. And I feel like we're cruising pretty easily. I talked about all these different settings that you could have for your bike. And this one was set for 0 and 7. That means we have 7 different pedal assist levels, but check this out. This also means that the throttle will work in pedal assist 0. So if you were wanting to ride this bike without power and then just use the throttle every once in a while, well, that is an option. And that is not something that a lot of bikes have. So you can make it to where it does that, or you can change your pedal assist levels to like 1 and 5, 7, or 9 or whatever. And whenever you have the 1, that means the throttle is not going to work unless you put it into pedal assist number 1. So that is a lot of customization that you can do right there. Now we're going to test the throttle from a dead stop and see if it's dictated to the pedal assist levels. You know what, let me put it into pedal assist 1, there we go, and see if it is, but it is not. We are already up to 20 miles an hour. Holy cow, this bike is fast. All right, let's slow it down. So now we know that whenever using the throttle, it's just going to take you up to whatever speed limit you have set this bike to. Well, let's not forget, we set this one to class 3 speeds up to 28 miles an hour. I just don't know if it's going to do 28 miles an hour yet with the amount of weight that I have and the stuff that I have on this bike. But I am assuming that with 1500 watts of peak power and 100 Newton meters of torque, well, we should be able to hit 28 miles an hour, no problem. Let's go ahead and check out the pedal assist levels. We are in pedal assist level 1. This bike came in 7 pedal assist levels, so I'm just leaving it stock the way that it came so that we can see how that would work. And the gear's kind of high. That was my fault. We're in gear 5, and we are cruising easily at 9 miles an hour. Let's go ahead and put it into pedal assist number 2. When it has this many different pedal assist levels, you can really shorten the amount of difference between these levels, because we're in pedal assist level 2, and I don't feel a difference in speed. We're still at 9 miles an hour. Let's go to 3. There we go. Now we felt it kick in, and we're cruising at 14 miles an hour. In pedal assist number 5, we are cruising at 20 miles an hour. Let's go for 6. At this point, we are about to ghost pedal, so the chain ring's not big enough to have this bike go this fast, but we're at 25 miles an hour. Holy cow, in pedal assist number 6, we are doing 30 miles an hour. Woo. You know what, we're gonna do the final speed testing with this bike on a much bigger bike lane. Hi. And this is why you don't wanna go fast down these roads. You never know who's gonna pop out. So we're gonna do it safely. We'll end up doing top speed on when we make it to Lakeshore Trail. Now, my initial thoughts on this bike is, number 1 is, wow, it is incredibly fast. I can't wait to get it out on the on a straightaway to see how fast this thing actually goes. But that is incredible. You know what? I really do like these grips. It's half twist throttle. This whole thing just feels like a high quality bike. Super solid. And let's see how it does with our off-road part. All right, let's hit the off-road part. Here we go. And we're just gonna throttle through. I mean, this bike feels good doing this even. The only like shaking or rattling I feel is 100% coming from, it's coming from my, it's coming from my bag in the back that has all my film equipment. Yes, sir. Man, I'm gonna enjoy today's, oh yeah, there we go, review. I literally just jumped off that curb and both tires hit at the same time. This is gonna be a fun bike. It is time for the hill climb. We're gonna do it 2 different ways. First, we're gonna do throttle only, and then we're gonna do it with pedal assist. And I tell you right now, this bike is not gonna have any issues tearing up this hill. It does look like I have somebody right in front of me on my path, so we're gonna have to veer a little bit to the left to stay out of their way. So let's go and see how this bike does. And just, oh, see, like it just takes a second, then you feel like you're getting all the power as we're just tearing up this hill. Yeah, this thing's not gonna have an issue at all. Holy cow, that was no effort at all. Now I just put it into pedal assist level 7, dropped it down to like gear 3, and let's see how that's gonna work. The almost a full rotation before the pedal assist kicked in, but now we are now we're going. This hill has an incline of 15 to 20 degrees, and we just went up that like we were on flat land. This is an impressive bike. All right, guys, let's go ahead and do a mileage check. Oh, wow. It shows that we are at 66% battery power already. The display shows we've gone 8.4 miles. Look, this display, you can't see very well in the sun at all. And sometimes I can't see it at all. It just looks like a sheet, but hopefully this is showing up on video. Strava is showing that we went 8.16 miles. So it is super close. I'm gonna stop here for lunch. We're gonna see if it still shows we're at 66% when we get done. All right, let's go ahead and hop back on the bike. It's been about 20 minutes. I'm trying to cover this so you guys can see the screen. I mean, in bright sunlight, you can't see it at all. So let's see what we got. Ho, shows we're back to 100% battery power. That's a pretty big jump from the 66 that we were at earlier, which I thought that was awful low. Let's head on out to Lakeshore Drive and get some real testing done with this bike. All right, guys, we've made it here to Lakeshore Drive, and we are here at the beach right just past downtown here in Chicago. I mean, this is where I love to go. We are going to test this thing on the sand, and I expect this bike to do excellent on the sand with all the horsepower and wattage and all that kind of stuff that we got going. I have it in pedal assist 7 just in case I have to help it out. Hopefully I shouldn't have to, but we're going to find out. So let's go. Let me just cut down some gears just in case. There we go. I mean, I'm pedaling, but I don't feel like I need to pedal. Woo! This bike is not going to have any issues cutting through the sand. So yeah, it's going to take you to the beach. It's going to get you there, and then it's going to take you through the beach as well. Oh, I just made that turn a little bit. This is some really loose sand right here. Come on, let's give it some juice. Let's go. Let's go. But on normal stuff, if you don't try to make a sharp turn, it's going to work out really well. Yeah, this thing is a little sand beast. I am happy. This is what I expected out of it. So, you know, if you want to get to the beach, this will get you there. This will get you across the beach. It should be no problem. We just completed the sand test. I'm looking over and it's showing the battery percentage is at 56%. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shut this thing down for a couple minutes. We're going to turn it back on, and it's going to probably give me the correct reading. It did that during the lunch break, so let's see what it does with just a quick 5-minute break. Now, I only gave it a 30-second break to see, so I basically just shut it off and then shut it back on, and it's showing that we're at 87%. With us having 12 miles on this bike, that seems to make more sense, especially after we've just done the hill climb and the sand test. So let's go check out the speed. Chicago is in full swing on a weekday. Yep, that is the summer here in Chicago. So on the weekend, there would be even more people. That's why I try to do my reviews during the week. This way, I have some room without having to worry about hurting anybody. Now, we have the wind going to our back, and it is an extremely windy day. We have it in pedal assist number 7, and we're cruising at 28 miles an hour. I am very sure that it's acting like we could get a little bit more, but it's not doing it. Oh, here we go, 29. There we go. If we just keep going, maybe it'll hit that 30 mark that I saw earlier. But 29 is pretty fast. And this bike just feels so smooth and controlled at this high speeds. It's like this thing just wants to go fast. Now we can finish up our speed test that we were doing on the pedal assist levels. Let me put it into pedal assist number 6. That's where we kind of like had to stop earlier. And now we're just going to see what the top speed is on pedal assist number 6. So on pedal assist number 6, we're cruising at 28 miles an hour. And then on pedal assist number 7, well, I don't know if we're going to get much of a difference, but you can adjust, the percentages on how much power is being delivered per each level. But we are still going the same speed. We might get it up to 29. Yeah, there we go. So pedal assist number 7 will get you to 29, but pedal assist number 6 will get you that close. So let's go ahead and slow her down some. For me, the comfortable riding setup is pedal assist number 4, gear 7. And with that, we just cruise at about 20 miles an hour. And, well, about 19, 20. And for me, that seems to be a good riding pace for this bike. But man, if you want to go faster, all you got to do is just pump it up a little bit and this thing will go. It's been a little bit since I've reviewed a bike like this. And I got to tell you, oh, my seat just popped back. Let's tighten up my seat. I was just talking about how fun and nice this thing is, but I brought tools with me, so we're good. And if I didn't, I could have gone to this repair shop here and they'd have hooked me up, but I have my own tools. It's always good to bring a multi-tool with you, so that way you can make small adjustments to the bike. So when things like this happen, well, you can fix it. Come on. There we go. All right, now we shouldn't have to worry about that. I'm using my Rock Bros rear tank bag. I love this thing when it comes to these type of bikes. It just makes it so easy. I put all my camera equipment in here. These panniers can extend down if I need them to. Well, it hooks by Velcro, as you can see right there. That's the extra Velcro strap. I have my Seco light for safety and my half knee bar and mirror. I also brought my foldy lock with me, and that's what I use to lock it up for lunch. Let's go ahead and put this back where this belongs. Let's head down the road. Now that we have some straight areas without any people or very few people, a lot of geese, but we're going to go ahead and do our speed test. We're going to take this thing up to 28 miles an hour throttle only and see how long it takes. I mean, this bike picks up very quick. It's smooth, and it just feels like it wants to go. Boom. Now we're going to do this test in pedal assist. I put it into pedal assist number 7, giving us all the power. And now we should just hit start. I put it down into gear 3 to make it easy to pedal. And boom, just like that, we have taken off. And we are already climbing in gears. We are in gear 7. Oh, this bike is fast. Boom, holy cow. And we hit 29. This bike is a speed demon. You know, I like it because you just, you know, you can just feel it pushing forward the entire time. Also, when we hit that, I was still, like, I hadn't started ghost pedaling yet, but if you try to maintain that speed, well, then that's when the ghost pedaling will occur. And when that happens, just slow down your cadence and let the pedal assist level do its thing. All right, guys, we're heading off to go do the brake test. And let's talk about some of the features, the things that I've noticed about this bike. The seat, comfortable. Don't need to change that out. I do like the grips for sure. Figured I would. This is another one of those bikes with a half twist throttle where normally I would be doing more throttle than pedaling, but I like pedaling this bike. So because of that, I know I am conserving some battery as I am not using it all up just doing throttle most of the time. Now, one thing is concerning is the fact that the battery indicator, right now, it's telling me it's at 42%. And then when I turn the bike off and turn it back on, it's going to give me like the real reading. So that makes it kind of hard when you're trying to figure out how far you can go on this bike and what your battery percentage level is. But besides that, this thing rides great. It is time for the brake test. Now, we're going to do this in 2 different versions. We're going to go 20 miles at first, just in case you decide to keep it into class 2. I know you guys can't see this screen because I can barely see it, but we are already at 20 miles an hour. All right, 24 feet. Actually, we were at 22 miles an hour when we hit that because this bike just wants to go. So let's go ahead and do it at class 3. All right, we had to pull back a little bit farther, and now we are going to go ahead and hit it at 28 miles an hour. Oh, boy, does this bike stop. We were hauling. Oh, I smell the rubber. I smell the rubber. We went a little bit past 30 feet. Let me take a look. This bike stopped in 34 feet. You can smell the rubber. Man, this bike is a performer. I figured this is a good place to turn around and start heading back. As you can see, Chicago is right behind me down there, so we're on the south side of it. Now, here's what's really thrown me off about this display. Right now, it shows we have 34% battery power from just doing the things that we've done, and we've gone 20.5 miles. That's what the display says. Now, Strava shows that we've done 20.8 miles, and they're very close. So if you wanted to use the display for tracking, you could. The only thing you're going to have an issue with is how much battery power this bike has. Now, I just turned the bike off when it had that 34%. We're turning it back on right now, and it's going to show that we have 52% battery power. So that's really going to throw you off because it said that we were at 34, but really we have 52. Well, now it just went to 50. So I'm going to head back because I don't know where I'm going to be when it comes to mileage and the battery on this bike. But man, it's a beautiful day. And now the bad part is we got to fight the wind on the way back. And it is very windy today, but I seem to do that to myself all the time when it comes to these reviews. So let's head back and see how it goes. While I am heading through this part, I have enough trees where the wind just feels good, but it's not really slowing down how the bike is performing. Once I get more towards the city, that's when I'm going to be fighting the wind. Because right now, if you were looking around, it doesn't look like it is windy at all. Can you guys see that how when it's bright like this, that the whole display just kind of glazes over and you can't see anything on it until maybe you go into like, you know, a shaded area, or you got to turn your head a certain way. But when the sun's directly on this display, I mean, just give it up. You're not going to be able to see it. If it wasn't for the glare on the display and the erratic battery levels, this bike would have been perfect. This would have been the perfect utility bike, except for those 2 things. Everything else about this bike, even though I know it has like some of the cheaper components on it, it just feels like a quality bike that's top notch. We are heading back into the city. Now I'm really starting to feel the wind, and so is this bike. The display is showing that we got 24% battery power. Normally, I would be freaking out because we are far away from home at the moment. I think a good 8 miles, but I'm gonna have faith in the fact that I know that this display has shown it's been wrong multiple times, and I'm gonna hope that it has enough battery power to get me back to the house without having to ride it without any power at all. I am keeping it at pedal assist number 4. We're cruising at 17.5 miles an hour. Now you can see the screen for a second because we were under shade, but now it's gone. Even though the wind is super strong today, you know what? It is making this ride feel great. It's keeping everybody nice and cool. It's low 80s, little humidity. It's just a super nice day to go for a bike ride. This is one of the parts in the city where I'm just going to get pounded with wind. I'm going to go ahead and kick it into pedal assist number 5 so we can get out of this as soon as possible. Unfortunately, I don't see any flags or anything like that that can show you how strong this wind is. I just kicked it into pedal assist number 7. I want to see if this bike is going to be able to still hold 29 miles an hour heading into the wind with this low battery level. And right now we're holding at 25 miles an hour instead of the 29. So that can give you an idea on how strong this wind is. All right, there we go. I had to kick it back down. The display showing that we're at 15% battery power. And I hope to God that that is not the case. All right, let's pull over right here. This is a safe spot. I know where I'm at right now. The battery power is showing 15%, 27.5 miles. Strava is showing that we're at 26.82. So this is showing that we're a little bit farther than what we've actually gone. And let's do the thing where we turn off the display for a second here. I really hope that this bike doesn't have 15% battery. I hope it has more. We're turning it back on. And there it is. It's showing we have 36% battery power. That should definitely be enough to get us home. And that makes me feel a lot better. All right, guys, now you can see how windy it is. Take a look at these flags up here. Oh, now you see what I've been fighting against. You know, these front shocks work pretty good. They've made this ride actually pretty nice. And they respond very quickly. So they have good rebound to them. All right, we're going to make a decision from here. Right now it's showing that we're at 12%. I'm only like 4 miles from the house, but I'm going to turn it off here and see if it's going to go farther, if what the true battery power is. And then from there, we're going to make a decision, because if not, we'll just turn right. And I'd like to get like 35 miles out of this bike. Yeah, we're at 27. Oh, yeah, we're rolling. We're going to the right. I figure there's going to be a lot of people on the 606 trail because it's such the great weather. So we're going to hit this street right here and see with this lower voltage and, well, with the lower battery level, if this bike is still performing at its very best. I'm going to put it into pedal assist number 6, and that should get us up to 28 miles an hour. Although I think the last time I was heading down here, it was 25 because of the wind that I was fighting. So we're going to try to see if we can at least get to 25 miles an hour using pedal assist on level 6. And if so, then that's a good thing. We are doing 23 miles an hour. That was the fastest it was going. It was doing 25 before. Boy, I could not trust that woman. There's so much wind. I don't even know if you guys can hear me correctly. I'm getting all the wind in this direction. That means this bike is fighting all the wind at a high pedal assist level. We're doing 25 miles an hour still. All right, let's see if pedal assist number 7 is going to get us at that 28 mark again. Oh, I can't imagine it doing it with all this wind. No, I'm going to put it back down to number 6. It wasn't giving us any. We weren't going any faster. Now the battery is showing that it is down to 9%. Just to be safe, I might just, we're just going to put it back down to pedal assist number 4. Now, I might have messed up going this direction, but like we've shown time and time and again that I cannot trust what the battery indicator and the level that it says it is. They say this is a long distance bike, and realistically it is. When you consider what I've been putting it through and the fact that we've gone over 30 miles on it and we're still going, well, I mean, that's where 52 volts and 20 amps and 1040 watt hours get you. As the battery gets lower, this bike still feels great. Now, I know we're not getting as much power and can't go as fast as we were originally doing when we had a full battery, but there's just something about this bike that just... man, like I said, it was almost perfect. It was almost the perfect bike. Before, pedal assist level 4 would have you just cruising at about 20 miles an hour. And now we're just holding 16, but it's a steady 16. All right, guys, we are at 5% battery power. And I felt like I just lost assist. I had throttle going, and now I have no throttle control at all. And yeah, the bike, I'm out of assist. I was heading home a different route. So this is where we're at. Like everything shut down at 5% battery. I turned the bike off, turned it back on. Shows we have 14%. I'm going to see if we do have any power, just enough to make it home. I'm about a half mile away. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Oh, I do. I do. Well, that's a pleasant surprise. I put it into pedal assist number 4 right now. I'm not using throttle. We're just going to try to see if we can make it home. Because if this happens to you, you're riding it around for a long distance and this happens to you, well, you're definitely not going to want to keep pushing it. You're just going to want to try to make it back home if possible. Oh, we made it. 35.2 miles. So here's what I've learned. Every time this thing drops to 5%, the power cuts off on it. Then you got to turn the bike off, turn it back on so that you can get power. So even though it doesn't pulse, well, it just quits giving you assist. All right, guys, I made it back. Now, if you haven't watched the entire video and you just hopped in here for final thoughts, let me tell you what happened. At 33 miles, the battery died with 5% going on. And then I went ahead and I stopped Strava, because when I'm riding back without any power, well, I don't count that as Strava miles. But then I had the idea to turn the bike off, turn it back on, and it gave me power again. It said I was at 17%. I went ahead and rode it another mile before it cut off again. Once the battery hits 5%, that's when you lose all power. I turned it off one more time, turned it back on, and barely made it to the house. So the display shows that we made 35 miles on today's ride. When the power went out, it showed that originally that we were at 33.9 miles on the display, and Strava showed that we were at 33.06. As you can see, that's about a mile of difference between what Strava was saying and what this one does. Now, I do want to mention that when it came to the mileage on this bike, I do feel that this bike is a long distance bike. I mean, I got 35 miles out of this thing with all the abuse that I put it through. Plus, we had that super heavy wind that happens here in Chicago. So I'm going to give this one a thumbs up for battery distance. I agree that this is a long distance bike. If you were riding it normal and not putting it through all the abuse that I did, you could get farther than 35 miles out of it. But you guys saw what was going on. I was beating this thing up. Plus, I was fighting a heavy wind for many miles. So I call it a win when they claim that this is a long distance bike. The seat was comfortable until the very end, so that might want to be changed out in a little bit. Man, you add a suspension seat post to this and this bike's going to ride super well. These grips, loved them. They were totally fine. And this front shock seemed to work extremely well. Guys, this bike rides extremely well. I loved everything about it except for the display, because you can't see what's going on, and obviously the battery percentage. Now, I know that they just came out with the Ocelot 2.0, which has a torque sensor, and you can switch it between torque and cadence sensor. The only thing I don't know is, did they change the display and how the battery management works? Either way, if you are interested in the Magicycle Ocelot Pro or the Pro 2.0, I'm going to go ahead and leave links in the description down below. That way, it'll take you to both, and maybe we'll find out if there is a change in that. Matter of fact, Magicycle, you ought to just send me the 2.0 so I can compare them. I wonder if that's going to work. Well, we'll find out. But either way, this was such a great riding bike today. I'm super happy with it. Gosh, it was so close to being perfect. It really was. And it would have been the first bike that I would have considered perfect in every way. But that's it. That's my review on the Magicycle Ocelot Pro. And I want to thank you for watching. So until I see you again, woo, this wind, enjoy the ride.